Hi guys. Another dream. This one I kind of waited a few days just because I wanted to make sure, these dreams that stick. Because sometimes you wake up and I don't remember what I dreamed last night. I remember the imagery. And so what I saw was a large SUV, and I'll try and put a picture of it for this video, a thumbnail. But it was black. It was big. It was armored personnel carrier, I think is what they call them. But I could see that it was built burly, tough. There were steel plates on it, tiny little windows. It was meant to move people, and it wasn't that large. Bigger than a pickup truck, and larger than a van, but it wasn't a van. It was kind of like a extended, well, you'll see the picture in the thumbnail of what I saw. I kind of found it. And it was speeding along. And there was no support vehicles or anything else. It was just black. The windows were tinted black, driving really fast. It was on a street, but it was like 2 lanes on one side, 2 lanes on the other. And it looked like downtown LA. Now, part of downtown LA, they have streets that go up, and there's bridges, and underneath there's streets underneath. But the buildings themselves start on the lower floor. That's the lobbies, and then they come up to, like, say, 3rd floor, 4th floor, and they meet where the bridge is. The bridge isn't a bridge. It's like a street, an overhang that just carries on. So it's not like, oh, a normal bridge goes up and then it comes down. Well, no, these kind of go up and they're elevated streets. Sorry, nose itchy. And what they have is these high-rise buildings, and this is downtown. I don't know the exact streets, but Rose sounds familiar. And it's not just a bridge and here's a building. There's platforms of streets and plazas, and it's kind of like how Century City, in the sense, here in LA, in the west side, there's a whole raised area where you can walk from building to building to building, but underneath there's all the streets driving around and parking and lobbies. Kind of the same thing. So this SUV, or armored personnel carrier, speeding along, and I see it whoosh by, right? I'm like, damn, that thing's hauling butt, right? It's got to go somewhere. Then all of a sudden I was sucked in to the back of the cab where the personnel are carried. And it looks like 8 to 10 people, roughly, back there. And they were Asian. I couldn't tell, were they Korean, Japanese, Chinese, Philippine? I don't know. I could tell they were Asian by the way they're dressed. There were some guys in black, looked like SWAT team kind of thing, with machine guns and everything else. And then there was another group, about 4 guys, and they had suits on. And very prim and proper, and this is very Asian in a sense when they're doing business. And then they were diplomats. So I'm like, okay. And one guy had a briefcase, and he pulled out a diplomatic pouch, like an attaché or something, and handed it to the guy. And this guy was the big cheese. I don't know what he was in charge of or whatever else, but he opened up the package, and when he did, he pulled out the papers, and then he started choking, and he got sick. He fell over. And the other guys, they started speaking in I don't know, some language, but I understood it. And this is why I mean these dreams kind of stick. And the one guy, I'm hearing him in English, but he's talking in an Asian language. And he's saying, oh my gosh, they put it in the envelope. And they're trying to get out the doors, right? But the doors were locked. And I think they were locked from the outside. So then the diplomats fell over. The guys with militaries were trying to grab for their, I guess they had gas masks or something on the side, and they were trying to pull this stuff out. And by the time they got there, it happened in a matter of seconds. Everybody just started falling over. It wasn't like, it was like, and they just done, right? So everybody was falling over. The guys that were driving, I was pulled from the back of the vehicle, and I was like to the side, but not in the cab, but I could see them, and they were talking in the foreign language, and they were like, what's going on? Because I heard body falls against the metal going thump, 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 right? So they pull over, and it's where this building is. And there's like a little open area plaza. There's trees, there's benches, kind of like people could take their breaks there, or lunches or whatever. They pull over, stop. The guys pull out the front doors. There's two guys. One guy starts going to the back. The driver comes over and he sees this American couple. And I say they're American because, well, you'll understand. There was a husband and he was packing stuff, and then there was the wife. And the guy spoke to him in English, like, what are you doing here? You should leave. And the lady started speaking to him, said, and she had this like drawl to her, a southern drawl or whatever. It's like, we had it all and we lost it. I mean, we were in a band and we were playing music, and the music caught on, bunch of people liking it very much. And this is the way she was talking, and this was my dream, right? And it was climbing the charts, and we started seeing money, and we were like, we're on our way, we're making it, and we're climbing the charts, and the money's rolling in, and hot dog, and she just kept going on and on and on like this. And the Asian guy was like, he couldn't understand their English because a different culture, different dialect in the terms of like, you go to New York or Boston or down Louisiana or even Texas. I mean, here in LA, we have an accent because we have no accent. It's mono, very, So different parts of the U.S. have a different style of speaking American English. Okay, so the driver didn't quite understand. So the lady kept going on, and she goes, and I just kept climbing and climbing, and we said the numbers and the sales, and we were selling records. And she's an older woman, right? So she's like records, not like, hey, we're posting this on different media outlets and other things online. Her manager was handling all that, And then she went on and says, yeah, and it just kept going up and up and up, and then boom, it fell and crashed, and we lost everything. We lost the house, we lost the cars, we lost, the pool and the jet skis, we lost all their money, and here we are, and now we live now in suitcases. What kind of thing is that? Now, you can probably imagine after I've said all this stuff, that this Asian guy was like, I gotta go. So he went to the back of the truck. They took the key, opened it up. I guess they were under orders not to let anybody in because they had top secret documents. They opened the doors, find everybody dead. Right? So then the passenger guy goes in and starts, well, we got to clean this up. He said it in some foreign language, but I heard him in English. So he started grabbing the envelope and everything else. Like, look at all this trash. We got these dead bodies. And the driver went, oh my gosh, it was in the paperwork. Don't touch it. Right? By the time he said that, passenger guy dropped over dead. And then the driver guy started to turn and run. Boom, I woke up. So what does it mean? I don't know. But if it's a premonition or a vision of what's to come, I may never know, but whatever it was pretty serious. And from what I saw in the dream, there was some really evil people doing some really bad dealings that America was just doing really well until all of a sudden it crashed. If anybody has any interpretation of this or understanding, please put it in the comments and let me know. I hope this reveals something. Love you guys.